Hello everyone and welcome back to Classic Comics. Today I'm reviewing Batman number 112. This is the latest in the Fear State crossover event. So it looks like Batman's going, I think, weekly or bi-weekly for this event, so there are issues coming out more quickly. Actually, 113 came out this week, so I'm going to try and get a review of that in over the weekend. But anyway, this picks up from Batman Fear State Alpha, and I'll leave a review of that in the corner up here. But so when we left off, we had Batman had been captured by the Scarecrow, and he was, it seemed like he had been given the fear toxin, but it turns out it's not the fear toxin, it's something else. Batman managed to get out of the chair and is trying to escape. And while this is going on, of course, out in the city, there's chaos brewing. Now, Peacekeeper-1 got dosed with fear gas previously to this, and in order to kind of control the narrative and keep the media from reporting on stuff he doesn't want reported on, Simon Saint has taken over the control of the communications grid in Gotham, and he's just running this marketing video, propaganda video, basically hyping the magistrate and the peacekeepers and all that. But anyway, while that's going on, we've got Batman here, and it's interesting in these early pages, Jimenez, and again, this is written by James Tynion, or is it Tynion? It might be Tynion. I've heard it pronounced Tynion. Anyway, James Tynion or Tynion or whatever, he's still writing, and we have Jorge Jimenez doing the artwork again, and he's doing a great job. But in the early pages here, you can see he draws Batman without the white eye holes in his mask. And I assume this was an artistic choice, not just something he overlooked in order to play up the terror Batman is experiencing, because you can see how wide-eyed he is. And it certainly is jarring to see Batman's eyes like that. It's certainly unusual. But anyway, he's down in the basement of Arkham, and he's trying to find his way out. And he doesn't know it, but Scarecrow has gotten a hold of the Mad Hatter's mind control technology. So what he's being affected by is not just fear toxin. I think it's like a mixture of that and the Mad Hatter's mind control tech. But we have him struggling to get out of there, and he makes it to the Batmobile. And he takes, I guess this is supposed to be antidote to the fear toxin. I don't know. And then he sees the Scarecrow outside the Batmobile. He jumps up on the Batmobile and seems to come through the windshield. But then suddenly Batman's all alone. And he realizes that was just a hallucination. And he heads back into the city. So now while that's going on, it's cutting back and forth between this and this video. It's kind of like an infomercial that Simon Saint is running for the magistrate. And he talks about how he grew up in Gotham and how the city was always known for its crime, and he believes Gotham can, do better. And then he introduces Peacekeeper-1, who of course is Sean Mahoney, the security guard at Arkham that got injured when Arkham was bombed a while back. And then, oh, good Lord, are you kidding? So anyway, and then Saint is getting furious because they're trying to get in touch with Peacekeeper-1, but he won't answer his radio. And then we go to Peacekeeper-1 here. Now, he got affected by the Scarecrow too. He's freaking out. And he sees all these dead bodies. And then he sees what appears to be the Joker and other supervillains, but it's actually just innocent bystanders. There are no dead bodies. He's hallucinating. But then he, activates this cyborg arm he has that has a big blade sticking out of it. So it looks like he's going to maybe start attacking and killing civilians. Then we go to Oracle's clock tower, and Batman's white eyes are back. He's got the white eyes again. Anyway, he hooks up with Barbara/Oracle, and she fills him in on what's happening, that she tried to send out a message to the city telling everyone to calm down, but then someone hijacked her transmission, her broadcast, and is impersonating her and basically sending out messages that are clearly designed to frighten the city even more. And she says that, whoever's done this has been able to infiltrate my systems, and I'm shut down. Basically, there's nothing I can do. But they do get a hold of Peacemaker, and he tells Ghostmaker, not Peacemaker, Ghostmaker. So Ghostmaker and Harley took the Insanity Collective into this underground cavern beneath Gotham, where Poison Ivy has kind of set up this sort of exotic garden. It's kind of her hideout. And they're trying to convince her to help out. She's not interested. And then Batman tells Ghostmaker to get back up to the surface. He needs his help. And then Batman explains to Barbara Gordon and the other Batgirls that this is different. The Joker's not using gas or fear toxin. He's got some kind of mind control that he's using. And the whole city has basically been whipped into a frenzy of fear, and things could get really bad really quick. We've got to head this thing off. And then here we see the Scarecrow, and he says, "Good, now let's begin." So his plan is continuing. Of course, he's doing this and turning the tables on Simon Saint and the Magistrate. They had an agreement to kind of create the Magistrate together, and they were working together to sort of whip the city up into fear so that they'd embrace the Magistrate, to embrace a police state, basically. But then Scarecrow was like, well, why would I want to stop now? Let's just keep going further, which is not what Simon wants. So Scarecrow, plot twist, Scarecrow betrayed him. And then Saint takes his assistant, Ricardo, and if you've seen previous issues, he's got this male assistant named Ricardo, and he takes him to, and Ricardo also has cybernetic limbs, and he's going to perform some kind of a process on Ricardo, but we don't know what it is yet. And it turns out he's making Ricardo into a peacemaker as well. And he says here on this page, "I didn't think it was going to be necessary to do this right away, but I always knew that we need an off-the-books peacekeeper with some enhanced weaponry that the city would never sign off on. Officially, you do not exist. Your new designation does not exist. The weaponry in your prosthetics does not exist. Peacekeeper-X. Your mission is to apprehend Sean Mahoney, and if he resists, you're going to need to kill him and retrieve his armor. We need to take back control of the narrative before it's too late. Do you understand?" And Peacekeeper-X looks pretty cool. I will give him that. So, an interesting setup for the next issue. And then there's a backup story with Clown Hunter, which I really just kind of skimmed through. The Clown Hunter is an okay character, I guess. But, I'm just not really that interested in him. So I really didn't even bother to read this. I may read it sometime later. But anyway, so another really good issue from Tynion and Jimenez. So what happens here is we get the stakes raised. So, and this is an important part of storytelling. You set up a dilemma, put the hero in jeopardy, then the hero seems to be getting a handle on things. And then there's some new plot development, some new obstacle, some new complication that is presented to the hero that now suddenly takes the task that he thought he was going to be able to accomplish more difficult. And he's done this a couple of times. He did it with the Scarecrow turning on the Magistrate, and now with creating this new Peacekeeper, who is yet another complication and another opponent Batman's going to have to deal with. So it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. Now, as I said, I think Batman's coming out more frequently now during this particular storyline. So I've already got the next issue of Batman, and I'll try to get a review in on that this weekend. I also picked up Nightwing as well. I'm not picking up all the crossovers for this series. I'm just not interested in every issue. It's too pricey. But I will pick up that Nightwing issue and see if that's any good. And I might, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks down the line, pick up a different title in this crossover series. But overall, the last issue of Batman was a little disappointing. There was a little too much I thought talk and sort of exposition and not enough really of action and really driving the plot forward. Nobody's perfect. Even Tynion can have an off issue. But this one's definitely back to form. I really enjoyed it. I mean, look at this. Look at Jimenez's art here. This guy has got to be one of, if not the best artists at DC right now. And, I mean, there are numerous really good panels. The guy's just a really, really good storyteller. And the coloring, I have to say, is excellent as well. The colors, Tamu Mori, I guess that's how you say it, also doing an excellent job on this series as well. So this one is definitely a thumbs up, and I guess that will be all for this review right now. I'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Pretty solid cover also. So what did you think of this issue? Are you liking the Fear State crossover? Let me know in the comments, and if you would, please thumbs up the video before you leave. Also, please sub to the channel and hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.